Sup nerds, or in this case weebs. I'm James. And I'm Kyle. And today we're going to talk about something called anime. It's like this little niche thing. I don't think you for anybody who likes it. It's like this thing that nobody cares about, not a single person. And so, simple introductory video, we're going to talk about our favorite animes and why we love them. So I think we should start off on the age-old topic, though, of sub first up. Oh, God. And you stand in the new generation, my friend. In the new generation, I am someone who's like, if I have the time to dedicate to it, I will watch the sub. But 9 times out of 10, I'll watch the dub so I can get the info. I also watch a lot more recent dubs, which aren't as bad as old dubs, because, dear God, there are some bad ones out there that are, like, the way you can define it is anything from, like, I guess, like when was dubbing first being like, so you're looking at like the first dubbing houses were like 4Kids. Oh yeah, and then you have early Funimation, you have like early 4Kids butchered. Absolutely. So if you're looking at like a Jelly Donut, so one of my favorite examples is actually Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know if you've ever owned your. Have you seen Uranus and the 4Kids dub? Yeah. So the 4Kids dub is like hilarious because they invented the Shadow Realm. I don't know if you know this, but like in the Japanese version of Yu-Gi-Oh, they just die. Yeah, they're still killing people. Like the Shadow Realm was a thing created by 4Kids, and it's so interesting to see all the things that they removed, like the gun. And to the people point, and they're literally just point. You know what I mean? Like they changed it from a gun to being like, "I'm threatening you with my finger." So it's like one of those things where it's gonna go, I don't know. But we've come a long way. So you have the luxury of being able to watch things in a house more and a dedicated style. It's not like awkward line delivery. Like as someone who does acting and watches very meaningful action sequences with good acting, and then they go to like anime where it's like, but what if they were God? It's like, what is that awkward pause? And it's problematic of like, you have to take the animation and the way it looks, and you have to find like a believable way to get English to fit to Japanese mouth movements. And it's just so hard to translate. Yeah, and it was before that they were redubbing the mouth animations too. So like some of the early ones, like they're literally just trying to match like mouths, and it just didn't work at all. No, it did not. It was rough. But now that we've essentially gotten better technology and people are a lot better. Like, also admit some of the actors were not great for the dubs. Like, it's just a culmination of growth in the entire industry has allowed dubs to be a lot more viable. The subs are definitely the best way to get the information, and so that there's not a weird disconnect between the mouth movement and the words coming out of their mouths. But if I'm doing something else, not fully paying attention, right, I'm going to want to be able to hear something I can understand. Right. No, and I agree. So, like, for me, if I am sitting down and like watching, say, One Piece, I'm watching it, subbed because I enjoy getting it in its original translation. But for example, you watch, what did I watch recently? I watched a dub of one of the Moon Thieves, but I still had the subtitles on. So it's like what they say versus what the actual translation is like also one of my favorite parts of being like, oh, they took so many creative abilities with that line, or so. And on the other side, there's like the dubs that somehow managed to keep it almost perfect and true to the original. One of the biggest examples that comes to mind right now is I was watching one of my favorite animes, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and there's this whole debacle between like the original dub and then the redubbing and then the Netflix redubbing. I don't care. I think the Netflix dub is substantial and good, and it's not awkward because that original dub was something a little funky. But watching it with the Japanese subtitles and then the English audio, it's incredible how much information was essentially just words were mixed around, like nothing was lost, and the only thing that was changed were like a few names. Like the S2 engine became the S2 drive, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like some of the like translations are so interesting, the way that they like literally just change the sentence around or just like condense it into like a more popular like phrase or something like that, like a newer way to say that same thing. And yo, shit tripping, G. I can get do.
But anyway, so you mentioned Impact being one of your favorites. What are, I would say, out of your adventures so far in the anime space, what are your favorite, your two or three top, and like two or three that you just tried and you just like maybe other people love them and you're just like, I can't do.
Okay, the top three, without question, would have to be Evangelion, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and then Full Metal Alchemist. But the 2003 one, Brotherhood was, I think, '09, but the 2003 one before it. It's weird. A lot of people are like, why do you like that one so much? It's like, I've never rewatched it, and I love how existential it gets with, it's a character study over a large, overarching story, and I love that.
Yeah, no, Full Metal is definitely one of the better, like, legendary series.
It is incredible. And then for like ones I tried and just could never get into, it's hard because almost like all media I will watch and be like, okay, I enjoyed it. Definitely Gundam. I watched Iron Blood Orphans or whatever that one series was called, and I couldn't do it. I could not stick with it.
What was your biggest driving force on it to make me?
It felt like it never went anywhere, and then the second it did go somewhere, it's like, well, we're done going anywhere now. It's like, well, I'm going in a circle, please. I'm confused a lot. Another one I had trouble with, I grit my teeth and just stuck with it because I'm that stubborn. Tokyo Ghoul. Never watch the anime. Please, for the love of God, save yourself and just read the manga. Oh, not fun. And that was awful because it's like you have that time skip from season 2 to 3 and then
right. But I mean, time skips are like almost always gonna happen.
That's true, but it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
It was not good.
What? Okay, actually, now that we're talking about time skips, what you've seen does the best time skip? Like the time skip saves the series.
Oh, JoJo, absolutely, because the way it's set up is that every part takes place at a different point in time in a chronological timeline. So, part 1 is late 1800s. Part 2 is 1940s. Part 3 is 1980s. Part 3 is 1980s. Part 4 is 1990s. Part 5 is 2001. Part 6 is 2010s. Part 7, I'm not going to explain it too much, but it goes all the way back to the early 1800s. Part 8 is like 2010s to 2020s. And then part 9 so far, it looks like it's in the 2020s. It's genius because the time skips are basically inconsequential. Every story is unto itself, but it makes it so that we can see all these legacy characters come back without consequence to the rest of the story.
Okay. I like that. That's a solid answer. I think my favorite time skip personally would probably be Naruto, just because like you basically watch Naruto be a brat for 500 episodes, and then he like starts to really grow into himself in Shippuden, and like you're like, okay, now he's like a badass. So like there's a lot more character development. You can feel the pain, quite literally,
and you don't have to sit through the annoying stuff, right?
Yeah. And so I think they did that well. We're praying that the same happens with Boruto, with the two tails vortex or something like that, two blue vortex. I don't know. It's their time skip. It's happening in the manga right now. So they're going to take a break on Boruto and jump back into it with this new time skip version. But like, it looks like so much madness happens, and like he's much more of a like brutal character and much more like hardened throughout the show. So yeah, we're excited to see where that one goes. Anything coming up that you're excited about?
I recently saw an article about 5 huge anime movies that are coming to theaters in the U.S. for like their anniversaries and whatnot. It was Perfect Blue, the Cowboy Bebop movie, Ghost in the Shell, Paprika, I think, and then it was, I think, Tokyo Godfathers. And huge Ghost in the Shell, incredible movie. Paprika, Perfect Blue, and Tokyo Godfathers. I've never seen them, but I know they're also incredible. And then there's the Cowboy Bebop movie, which is super special because that's not on a single streaming service. So if you love Cowboy Bebop and you've never seen the movie, definitely capitalize on the chance to see that. In the comments below, let us know what your favorite animes are, what your animes you struggled through are, and like and subscribe.